Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the colors today from Fort Bragg, the 108th Air Defense Artillery Brigade from the 18th Airborne Corps. Please welcome the 82nd Airborne Division All-American Chorus, who will honor our country with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in the air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
A wonderful day for all the right reasons. Today we broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network, 175 countries aboard ships at sea too. They're watching around the world today in Europe, Asia, Africa, South America, and the Middle East. Welcome. Color Guard the parts. A beautiful job by the All-American Chorus, the 82nd Airborne Division here at PNC Arena. A day we await every season, Military Appreciation Day. Take a look at the starting goaltenders this afternoon. Cam Ward plays and gets a start here after surrendering 4 goals through 2 periods in a 5-2 loss at Chicago on Monday night. He'll be opposed by Richard Bachman, who hasn't played in the National Hockey League as a starter since October 29th of 2013, his first start of this season, his second appearance, as the Edmonton Oilers are coming off a 2-1 shootout loss in Chicago on Friday night. For Bill Peters, he was to the point after the game on Friday night, not very happy. Put the boys through a workout yesterday and obviously looking for a good start here this afternoon. Todd Nelson has done a very good job in a short period of time taking over for Dallas Aikens, and he has done a masterful job with a young team trip, getting them in a position now where they are competing like the Hurricanes each and every game.
Nelson, who came from their primary affiliate, the American Hockey League team in Oklahoma City, has the trust of the players, and he has developed a lot of these players that now find themselves on this Oiler roster.
The Canes will start with a new line, and the lines have been adjusted for this game. It's Victor Rask, Elias Lindholm, and Eric Stahl. On defense, John Michael Lyles is paired with Mikhail Jordan. Sit back and enjoy this one. Carolina outfitted in their third sweaters for this afternoon's play. Here's Eric Stahl moving up quickly for a shot denied by Richard Bachman out of the corner. Back to the point for Lyles. He'll punch it astray as it's loose at the top of your screen. Mikhail Jordan nullified by Neil Yakupov, who's playing well for Edmonton of late. And now Mark Fane will clear it out to center ice and all the way back.
John, while we have a minute on this extremely special day, 13 months ago, the Hurricanes roster during the Olympic break, Eric Stahl was part of it, visited Fort Bragg, and they were welcomed by a late Special Forces Sergeant Mike Cathcart. He skated with the Hurricanes. He lost his life in action, the ultimate sacrifice, and win this one for Sergeant Cathcart.
Well said. Justin Falk paired on defense with Ron Hainsey. They grind a cycle. Andre Nestrashil off the skate of Richard Bachman out of the corner. Jordan Stahl leaves it there, but does so, I believe, with a hand pass, so the face-off will come outside the line. Let's take a look at the Rex Express Care injuries and scratches. Rex Healthcare, chosen for excellence.
Well, Chris Terry, healthy extra, as is Brett Belmore. Jack Hillen did not skate yesterday, dinged up. We'll chart his progress, and great to see Ryan Murphy back in the lineup. You can tell Bill Peters has a twinkle in his eye for what he thinks Murphy can become. He wanted to wait until he was absolutely sure he was ready.
And he has a great chance now in the final 19 games. Out to center ice, Matt Hendricks, picked off by the aforementioned Ryan Murphy. Rasmus Rissanen had 8 hits in his NHL debut here on Friday night. Jeff Skinner attempting to get it deep, and Hendricks, the veteran, back to play it. Pressured on the forecheck by Carolina's Riley Nash. Out of the corner, Justin Schultz turned it over. Skinner's shot hung on to by Richard Bachman.
Well, when we get to our game keys early in this one of the keys is going to be 2 smaller wingers that have to get to the middle of the ice, the inside portion of the 2 dots, to be successful, and Skinner does so. The other is going to be Eberle on the Edmonton side. We talked about him in the open. Skinner stick on the ice, anticipates the turnover. Bachman, good early save.
Off the draw, Ron Hainsey at the point will cushion it along the boards for Nathan Gerby. Inside, Andre Nestrashil, who has 5 assists in his last 4 games. It comes in on Jordan Stahl. He's flushed out by Andrew Ferentz, the Edmonton captain. A handoff, Nestrashil this way, Hainsey. His shot fought off by Bachman. Loose out in front. Jordan Stahl got after it, but the Oilers will survive as they get it back out to center ice. Jordan Eberle walks in and shoots it past Cam Ward. Jordan Stahl back the other way. Marshall 2-on-1 with Nathan Gerby. Keith Hawley getting back on defense. It's rejected by Andrew Ferentz, and the Oilers get it out.
Well, Hainsey jumps down as the weak side defenseman for a nice chance, and then Eberle, you see Skinner had the penetration on his first shift, and there Jordan Eberle did the same for Edmonton's first good look.
Mark Fain back in his own zone through center ice. Unattainable that time for Luke Gazdic. Comes all the way back in. Icing is called here against Edmonton.
Rasmus Rissanen and Ryan Murphy have played together in Charlotte. He was physical Friday night. I thought you noticed that part of his game. And I thought he was solid. Bill Peters, obviously thought it was a tough performance. He made one systematic mistake on the first Minnesota goal.
John Michael Lyles now, a handoff here for Elias Lindholm. Out to center ice. It's loose, broken up there at the defense by Martin Marincin. It comes all the way back in. Top of your screen, Gazdic had it, lost it, tied up by Mikhail Jordan. Out of the corner, Luke Gazdic now controlling, back to the point. Marincin shot, glances past Cam Ward. Fished along by Eric Stahl. Good pressure on a pinch by Mark Fain as it skips out. Marincin now will trap the zone, and getting to it is Mikhail Jordan.
That Marincin shot, the Slovak defenseman hit something and just grazed Cam Ward's glove side pad.
Carolina gets a line change. They roll it in. The Canes looking for their 15th win of the season on home ice, 25th overall. Second game of a 5-game homestand as it glances again past Cam Ward. Loose out in front. Getting to it this way, Brad Malone back in the lineup today. Justin Falk away now for Patrick Dwyer in his 400th game, denied by Richard Bachman. Out of the corner. Getting to it is Jay McClement. Little support from Dwyer out of the 4-man scrum. Oscar Klefbom is there for Edmonton. He had a great game in Chicago on Friday night. The veteran Derek Roy is pressured on the forecheck as you see it up close along the boards. Brad Malone goes to work. Malone on Derek Roy. Peppered again on the way back that time. Justin Schultz back to the point. Played outside the line here by Ron Hainsey.
Klefbom was awesome in Chicago the other night. He's going to be a good one. The Oiler defenseman with the most all-around promise.
7 shots in the game. Rasmus Rissanen, a shot nullified on the way through. Out of the corner. Klefbom stolen by Alex Semin. Good pass, but it handcuffs Ryan Murphy, and away goes Teddy Purcell. Purcell over the line. Walks in on Ward, and he's thwarted on the way through by Ryan Murphy. Back to the point. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Matt Hendricks goes to work. Hendricks along the boards now for Teddy Purcell. Purcell in tight, a good shift. It's a late man right off the goalpost on a line change. As they came in very quickly that time, it was Ryan Hamilton. Back out to center ice. Riley Nash in control over the line. Semin, he'll cut. Alex Simmons' pass deflects off a skate. Played there at the defense as the Oilers attempt to get it out. Turning back here as it was batted down with a high stick. we get a stoppage of play. Coors Light. Cold Hard Facts, our first installment today. We'll take a look at the debut for Rasmus Rissanen.
Well, he just did have a very nice supported play as Purcell gained an inside step on Murphy. And, you know, true defensive partnership is the support coming over. Rissanen did so, but then what a play. As Hamilton, you mentioned, coming off the bench, former member of the Toronto organization, seamlessly came off the bench, undetected, and hit the post.
Ryan Hamilton, 29 years of age, and he has played a lot at the American Hockey League level. Now Jordan Stahl, Justin Falk with a shot blocked in front by Mark Fane. It goes high in the air as we see, and Jordan Eberle now will attempt to settle it down. Back out to center ice. Rissanen pressured by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, carried in by Eberle, but he does so offside.
Well, it was a good shift for Teddy Purcell, the former member of the Maine Black Bears collegiately. Watch 16. He makes the move to the middle, now out of the corner of his eye. He sees Hamilton coming off the bench. What a shot. Beat Cam Ward, but found the far side post. Hamilton probably got a chance in this Edmonton organization because Dallas Eakins was the coach and had ties to the Toronto franchise.
This is his 26th National Hockey League game. It squirts out to center ice. Jordan Stahl for the Hurricanes along the boards. Now Nathan Gerbe. One-timer taken by Nestrashil is caught by Richard Bachman. Hey, Caniacs, 50% off is back should the Canes score 3 or more this afternoon. Get 50% off your entire menu price online order at participating Papa John's the day after the Canes score 3 or more. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
The two ends of the spectrum. Devin Dubnyk, it's 6'6" on Friday night, and Bachman more athletic and 5'10" generously here this afternoon.
Out of the corner now. Eric Stahl through the blue and out. It goes all the way across. Luke Gazdic. As now Klinkhammer will get it all the way back in the Carolina zone. And icing is called here.
We did the injuries and scratches for Carolina. Edmonton does have some key names out, but the big one, of course, is Taylor Hall. And Todd Nelson played at Prince Albert years ago in the Western Hockey League. He was a bit of an offensive defenseman, and his teammate, among others, was Mike Modano in Prince Albert. And boy, oh boy, does he have the guys battling for him right now. They had a tough effort earlier last week against Los Angeles, but boy, were they good against Chicago, losing in a shootout.
And a career coach did a good job with Oklahoma City. As you see, Todd Nelson. Dallas Eakins did the best he could and was under a lot of scrutiny, and this year just never got off the mark for him. He'll be heard from again, I'm sure. Out of the corner, Eric Stahl. Good stick by Boyd Gordon, not out though. John Michael Lyles in control of wrist, blocked by Gordon again. Luke Gazdic gets to it and back out to center ice.
Just somehow Nelson has been able to achieve in his interim process here accountability, but he has the trust of the players. Their battle level is very high.
In neutral ice, Nail Yakupov, Oscar Klefbom, a long pass intended for Teddy Purcell. This one comes back, and this one again is icing.
Let's take a look at this hit on Lindholm in the neutral zone. Edmonton, not an overly physical team. Actually, which team is more physical is going to be our first game key. Nail Yakupov playing the best hockey of his young NHL career. He does come up a little bit high, but it looks still like he stays just below shoulder level with that primary point of contact.
Ryan Murphy gains entry, but does so offside, and we will step aside. Bill Peters, pretty forthright after the game on Friday night. We'll be back with our Geico quote involving him right after this.
I didn't think we had anything going in the first. Didn't have any energy, didn't have any jump, didn't have any execution. So it was easy to be better in the second and third than we were in the first. But disappointing way to start the game. I didn't think we were very good in general, so I don't think we gave them much support. We looked unorganized. We looked disinterested. Didn't look sharp. Didn't look like we wanted to put the work in order to be successful. We used to be this hard-working, honest group. Haven't been the last 2 times out. Well, we're going to have to get it figured out because we're not going to watch this 19 more times. I know that.
The strongest commentary of Bill Peters' tenure behind the Carolina bench. Carolina's slow start against a team in Minnesota, the hottest team in the league, that played the night before in Washington, I think is what really angered him. But different feelings. I talked to Chuck Fletcher, the Wild's general manager, after the game. He felt Minnesota was lucky to get away with a victory. So, I still like the message from Bill Peters based more than anything upon the slow start against a team that played the night before.
Edmonton on the attack. Derek Roy from his knees, knocked down, upset in the play. A penalty upcoming against Carolina. Derek Roy, Teddy Purcell, on and off his stick. He's shouldered on the way back that time by Brad Malone. Carolina gets possession. The Oilers have the game's first power play.
It's going to be a nice little move to the inside that creates a positioning disadvantage for Rissanen from Derek Roy. Derek Roy's been on a variety of different teams since he was a Buffalo Sabre in the conference finals against Carolina in 2006 when the Canes won the Cup. He has found chemistry with Nail Yakupov, and the Oiler man advantage will go to work.
27th overall they are, 23rd on the road. Carolina first in the league in terms of penalty killing, number 2 on home ice. Edmonton in the last 5 with their power play, 1 out of 9, and Carolina has only had to kill off 6 in their last 5, and they've handled them all. Back to play, it is Justin Falk up the gut, and they kill some time early. That's a longer stretch, as you see on your screen, for the Hurricanes, who have killed off 65 of the last 68. Justin Schultz lays it back. Nugent Hopkins over the line, goes wide of Falk, held up a bit. That allows Jay McClement a chance to get back and set up Ron Hainsey, and out she goes.
Yeah, the Oiler power play did not even get a chance in Chicago, the United Center Friday night, so this is the first one they've had in actually close to a week. Last home game against the LA Kings.
Teddy Purcell in control. They signed him as a free agent this past summer. He hands it off to Nugent Hopkins, who sends it in on Cam Ward. He'll leave it for Mikhail Jordan, who's hard-pressed. It pops out. A good job again. They go stick to stick with it. And Pat Dwyer in control, calmly right back in the Oilers' zone.
Boy, that's a confident kill right there. You know, even down a guy, not only, you know, having the composure to see the open man, even if he's in the middle, but then the execution with the passing for the easy clear.
Ryan Hamilton pinned on the way through that time. A good job by John Michael Lyles. Back of the goal now, they get to the outside. Nail Yakupov leaves it for Ryan Hamilton. Yakupov to the point. Jordan Osterley with a shot, the young rookie, steered out of play by Cam Ward.
And Osterley, they think, might be able to skate maybe down the road like Petrie, who was traded to Montreal. Let's take one more look at the hit. You know, remember again that the head would have to be targeted and would have to be the primary point of contact. For me, the puck is there. I think Yakupov elevated himself more than he needed to, but I still think that the head area was avoided. So I think he could have delivered a lower hit, but that was not an illegal hit. That would be my view.
28 seconds left on the power play. Good to see Elias Lindholm on the bench. Ryan Hamilton attempting to win the draw. That was won straight back by Jay McClement. Osterley at the point, couldn't handle it. Young man out of Western Michigan, signed as a free agent, 3 years there. Grew up in Dearborn Heights, Michigan. Now in control, Derek Roy. He'll wind it up. At the line, he hands it off. Oscar Clefbaum carries in, but it's offside. Let's take a look at the Storm Tracker, our game keys this afternoon.
Well, watching the ultra-talented Chicago Blackhawks, who were outplayed by Edmonton for a good percentage of the game Friday, it's because they weren't physical enough. That's going to be something that the Hurricanes are going to want to be. Ward just had his 500th appearance. Bachman has just 39 minutes coming into this game. And then you look at the two wingers that need penetration to be successful. The talent level of both Skinner and Eberle.
Bachman relieved Victor Faust on February 16th for his minutes at this level this season. Osterley now in the corner goes down as he was run into that time, and a good job on defense by Mikhail Jordan. Edmonton had one shot with an unsuccessful power play. It's carried here by Teddy Purcell. He's right in. He'll turn to the outside. Osterley shot. Fought off by Cam Ward. Rebound off the goalpost by Nail Yakupov. Yakupov in control, denied by Eric Stahl, who moves it back out. Here's Elias Lindholm. He goes to work on Martin Marincin, who makes the steal and dumps it out.
Well, we thought the Stahls would be apart. They're back on the ice together here. It might be just because it's the end of a power play, and neither one of them is killing penalties. We'll have to watch and see if that continues.
Out to center ice, on and off the stick of Matt Hendricks. Carolina goes D to D. Rasmus Rissanen through center, picked off momentarily by Boyd Gordon, and let go for Marincin. Headman pass for Matt Hendricks. He'll fling it deep in back of Cam Ward. Gordon on the gallop out of the corner. Hard-pressed in back of the goal that time was Victor Rask. It's loose. Jeff Skinner along the wall and back out. A good play. Getting to it is Rob Klinkhammer. He'll go cross corner.
Remember the nice pass that Skinner had to beat Suter and score a goal the other night was started with a good defensive play.
Out of the corner. Up top now. Osterley attempts a pass for Matt Hendricks out of that four-man scrum. Good work by Hendricks. A steal, though, by Carolina's Ryan Murphy. Rissanen will chug out to center. Rasmus Rissanen, his pass cut off by Jordan Eberle. Nugent Hopkins over the line, bears in. His shot, he scores! Ryan Nugent Hopkins, 1-0, Edmonton.
Well, the old turnover in the neutral zone. I want you to watch Jordan Eberle. What a play he makes, and then the wise indirect pass. Stick on the ice, indirects it off the boards. Nugent Hopkins decoys enough to threaten the pass across. And this is a Red Deer Rebel beating a Red Deer Rebel far side. Both players coming out of that Brent Sutter-owned franchise. Nugent Hopkins with a well-placed laser to beat Cam Ward, but it was all about, for me, what Eberle did in the middle of the ice.
Boy, he fooled Cam Ward with that one. His 17th goal of the season. Ryan Nugent Hopkins, who was the first overall pick in 2011. And Edmonton off first. Over the line now, they cross in the person of Andre Nestrashil. He goes to the corner through the goal crease of Bachman. Nathan Gervey off the pad of Richard Bachman. Jordan Eberle gets the assist. The goal comes at 10:19. Eberle had 2 goals against Carolina October 24th in the only meeting, won by the Oilers in Edmonton 6-3. Jordan Stahl well wide. Top of your screen now, Justin Falk. Inside for Andre Nestrashil over his stick. As you see it from the corner, Justin Schultz pummeled by Nathan Gervey. Jordan Stahl, good pass. Ron Hainsey, here it comes off a body. Blocked by Nestrashil, gained by Ryan Hamilton, and dumped out. Carolina now transitions again. Jordan Stahl out in front, rejected by Boyd Gordon on the back check. A lead pass angled off the wall by Klinkhammer and accepted by John Michael Lyles.
We've seen him with three teams this year.
The Colonel. Yeah, the Colonel's been all over. Good to see the Colonel on Military Appreciation Day, but he really has been well-traveled. A steal going down. Patrick Dwyer, and Carolina will get to a power play when we come back. That will delight Carolina assistant coach Steve Smith. He will be with Chantel McCabe on the other side of this break. Edmonton's Luke Gazdick in the penalty box here. Trip. He goes off for an infraction. 11:40 gone in the period. Carolina gets the power play.
Well, you mentioned Dwyer. Watch the right side of your screen, playing his 400th game. He creates this, just like Roy did. You know, by a nice, energetic move to the middle of the ice. Todd Nelson's team will be shorthanded. Andre Nestrashil would be the key guy here. There he is wearing 15. Smaller goaltender, need a net front presence.
Edmonton on the kill, number 26, but pretty good on the road at number 11, Carolina. Checking in at 13th best with their power play, and also number 11 on home ice. Nestrashil along the wall, double team. Peppered by Martin Marincin, who comes back. Here's Mark Fane. He'll hammer one. Held in by Falk. Gained by Matt Hendricks. And away they go.
Too bad. That was a good keep from Falk. You know, Bill Peters had his animated comments about Friday against Minnesota. Falk was a plus player in 24 minutes of ice time.
Carolina 4 for 21, the last 5 of the power play. Edmonton has scored 4 shorthanded goals, and all of those have occurred on the road. Justin Falk now ahead of Teddy Purcell. Here's Elias Lindholm. Good defense by Oscar Klefbom. Back out to center ice. Here's Purcell. His shot stopped by Ward, and the rebound controlled by Justin Falk.
Just have to love Klefbom, and Purcell's had a good start. Klefbom won a World Junior gold medal when they did so in Calgary.
Over the line now, Victor Rask to the outside of Klefbom. Left there, Boyd Gordon pressured, turning. Rask in control through the slot. Alex Semin back to the point. John Michael Lyles. Rask, now Semin. He'll set up shop. Semin holding onto it, delaying. Inside it goes, around the clock and back out. The pass from Jeff Skinner. Lyles races across, furthered by Rask. Skinner in back of the goal. He'll dance. This way it's Semin out in front. Off the stick. Skinner, what a stop by Bachman. Should the Canes score in the power play today, all Caniacs who say the winning phrase receive a free Bowberry biscuit from participating Bojangles. That's tomorrow morning. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Skinner may have caught a little piece of the outside of the net here on Bachman. Can't quite tell. It catches the outer portion of the net. One thing you do know, originally a Dallas Star draft pick, Richard Bachman is quick.
Not big, though. for goaltenders these days. Now, in the slot, great save by Bachman. The opportunity in the dead slot for Alex Semin.
And Semin earlier had a chance to shoot the puck, especially against a smaller 5'10" goalie. I'd love to see him fired. No hesitation there. Bachman has had a nice start.
Final push in the power play for the Canes. Here comes Ryan Murphy. Now Jordan Stahl holding onto it. Good pass. Semin with a shot. Blocked by Martin Marincin. They go to the corner. Alex Semin working hard, getting back up. Semin along the boards, pinned by Marincin, getting help from Jordan Stahl. It kicks around. Jordan in control. Gazdik's out of the penalty box. Semin's pass for Skinner. Look out! Bachman got a skate to it. What a scoring chance for the Hurricanes at the expiration of the power play as Luke Gazdik will attempt to get it out. Skinner on the attack. Working Mark Fane. He stays with it, and they go to the corner. Rally for it. Loose as it kicks around and pops out. Loose as we see and hunted down here by Mark Fane.
It would have been interesting if Hurricanes had scored there. Jordan Stahl, I thought, touched that puck offsides.
Jeff Skinner now moves it in. Justin Schultz is back on it. Schultz will turn it back in his own zone. 5:35 left in period one. John Tripp and Chantel with you as always on Military Appreciation Day. And our next telecast will be Tuesday night here against Columbus. Icing is called here, and we'll swing it back.
Let's take a look at the first play, especially with Semin's release. Watch left side of your screen. If he just is ready and he fires this puck, look how much room he has. Blocker side high. Gets a smaller goalie. I think that could have been daylight. And then here with tight coverage, gets it through, and Bachman the nice butterfly save.
Face-off will occur in the Edmonton zone. Shots are now 8-5 Carolina as we see off the draw. Eberle from the corner. Lays it back for Schultz. They move it along now, and in control here is Keith Awley, and his last goal came a couple of years ago in this building as a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs. It comes all the way back in. Justin Falk out of the corner, a quick up. Handcuffing the winger Brad Malone, but back out, and Keith Awley will dump it right back in the Carolina zone. 15 minutes gone in period one. And again, our game against Columbus will start on Tuesday night with Hurricanes live right here at 6:30. Justin Falk, a slow roller in on Bachman, and no further play. 4:54 left to go in the opening period, just underway. Edmonton with an early 1-0 lead.
Back in the first, it's 1-0 Oilers. On the first Oilers goal, Rasmus Rissanen had a turnover in the neutral zone. I talked to assistant coach Steve Smith about recovering from a mistake as a young defenseman. He says you just got to keep pushing through it. You got to keep skating. He said he's skating very well today. He played his first NHL game on Friday. In 16 minutes, he had 8 hits. He led the team in that regard. He told me afterward. He surprised himself with how many hits he served. 240 AHL games logged before his NHL debut. His parents flew all the way from Finland for the debut. Tons of support from his other family and friends, including a former GM of his junior team who reached out to him, and he said that was a really special time to be able to hear from somebody he hasn't talked to in quite a while. Guys?
Now he'll play against his junior coach if he plays Tuesday against Columbus. It's Craig Hartsburg. It's part of Todd Richards' very fine staff with the Blue Jackets. And boy, the defenseman they had in Everett, Rissanen, but Radko Gudas, who I really like, and Ryan Murray, who's a Blue Jacket first-round pick who's faced some injury problems.
Boy, has he ever. That poor kid never got off the mark this season. A good defenseman, maybe their best defenseman. They played with an assortment of injuries all season. It comes all the way back in the Carolina zone. Icing is called. Just about 16 minutes gone in period one.
Well, I'll just say this. Steve Smith, the former Stanley Cup winning defenseman in Edmonton, one of the reasons he thinks that Justin Falk is going to be a star is because he forgets about a mistake the minute it happens. And, that's the challenge here for Rissanen. Tough turnover. Eberle makes a great play on the only goal of the afternoon. Forget about it. A lot of game left.
Well, you have to be reinforced, too, as a young player. Be allowed to get back out there, and that is the game plan, to give players like Rissanen, Ryan Murphy, Mikhail Jordan, all kinds of opportunity here down the stretch.
Yeah, and Murphy actually is the elder skatesman on that defensive pairing today. So maybe we'll talk to Murphy between periods and ask him how he's trying to help him along.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has the game's only goal. It came at 10:19, set up by Jordan Eberle. And the Oilers with an early 1-0 lead. They play at Detroit tomorrow night. It rolls in on Cam Ward, who hesitates, gets back, and look out of the corner. John Michael Lyles attempting to dump it out, brought in offside, and we get a stoppage of play.
John, I spoke to both Brent Sutter and Merrick Sutter, Brandon's brother, about Nugent-Hopkins and what he did in Red Deer. And Brent Sutter was just raving about the type of person he is. He thinks he's just growing into his body. And And Merrick, Brandon's brother, went on to tell me later this week it will be Ryan Nugent-Hopkins bobblehead night in Red Deer.
Really?
Yes, it will. So good to talk to both Merrick and Brent. Love the Sutter family, and Merrick used to come on the dad's trips with Brandon because, of course, Brent was coaching.
Yes. Good days. Now it comes all the way back. Marincin out of the corner. Choked off a bit by Nathan Gerby. Andre Nestrashil is there too for the Hurricanes. Same can be said for Nugent-Hopkins. Just about 17 minutes gone in period one. Out of the pile-up. You see it from ice level. Nugent-Hopkins will outlet the zone. We have another icing. We'll take it back in the Edmonton N. PNC Arena installed a state-of-the-art lighting system this season which uses LED technology developed and manufactured by Durham One, North Carolina-based Cree Incorporated.
He put on 9 pounds coming into this season, and he was healthy coming into this season.
Nathan Gerby inside for Nestrashil. Look out! And it's shut down by Richard Bachman. A testing little backhander from a tough angle.
He Nestrashil caught Bachman trying to get a head start on a pass.
Yep.
And by the way, the Edmonton Oilers and the Buffalo Sabres, when I looked this morning, are the only teams in the NHL that don't have a goalie with a save percentage over 90%. Now, some of that is they need better goaltending. Some is the quality of chances they're giving up. But the only teams that have sub-900 save percentages across the board.
They're ranked 27th in that regard coming in. Ryan Murphy in control. Wristing one off a body. A good block by Boyd Gordon. The Oilers attempt to get it out. Murphy in control this way. It's Eric Stahl. His shot fended off by Bachman, and it goes out of play.
He headed that. And just to give you an example, Lindy Ruff, when he comes in here Thursday, I watched Dallas play last night where Bachman originally was. I mean, their goaltending has been a huge problem. But still, Kari Lehtinen, his save percentage is over 90%. So it's such a rarity to have all of your goaltenders under that. Here, Bachman, who continues to play a fine first period, looks like he could be playing in the Champions League football or soccer, however you want to call it.
Ben Scrivens was outstanding in Chicago on Friday night, getting the night or the day off here. Justin Schultz now back for Hendricks, denied by Ryan Murphy and back out. But Scrivens is the likely starter tomorrow night in Motown. Now Eric Stahl with a shot blocked. Again, Boyd Gordon. Now it goes deep. Justin Schultz in control.
Good middle lane drive from Victor Rask. You know, I think Eric Stahl right now, he has that slight hesitation. And that's the difference between a shot getting through and a shot not.
Carolina starting from their own zone. McCall Jordan for Patrick Dwyer and back out. Under 2 minutes left in the first period. Carolina out shooting Edmonton by a 2-1 margin where it counts they trail by 1 on the goal by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Eberle through the middle of the ice. Good shifting here and moving it in. Matt Fraser fended off by Cam Ward. Back to the point. Martin Marincin this way for Mark Fane. His shot is blocked out in front by John Michael Lyles. In control, Brad Malone. A spring pass for Dwyer. Here they come. You're looking at Jay McClement. Up from the D, McCall Jordan. He'll cut for a shot deflecting wide. Marincin gets to it, pressured by Jay McClement. They battle along the end while Patrick Dwyer takes a seat. Floored by Mark Fane, and it's carried out by Nugent-Hopkins. And away they go. Here's Jordan Eberle holding onto it. His shot off a stick. Off Hainsey goes wide. Moving in is Keith Ollie. He'll feed it hard around this way for Andrew Ferentz. Ferentz traps the zone. Less than a minute left in period 1. In deep, McCall Jordan advances the puck to Brad Malone, who takes it back, and Carolina can start a breakout.
How about this? Carolina 0-4 when Brad Malone's been out of the lineup since early January. 14-5-3 when he's been in the lineup. That's a pretty drastic difference.
He's been a great add-on this season, especially in the second half. A little bit of a slow start like just about everybody else, and it comes back out to center ice. Bulk in control away from Keith Ollie, but the Hurricanes are offside with 30.7 seconds left in the period.
So much to the good on this transition chance. Rask drives the defense back, drives the middle of the ice, and to me, it's just a slight hesitation, you know, for Eric Stahl, who's trying to regain his mojo. I think it's about making sure his feet are moving, just finding a way to get that puck through, because you had Victor Rask driving the net. Bill Peters continues to say he sees Eric Stahl as a winger and a centerman, takes him off his brother's line, but keeps him on the wing.
And again, there was a day of practice this past week where Eric did center a line. But it was an experiment. said the coach. But it'll be interesting to see where that goes. And will Elias Lindholm play a little center in the 18 games that remain after this one? Out in front, Cam Ward says no. A dandy right there on Derek Roy.
Derek Roy is going to be a free agent this summer. He has had beyond good chemistry with Niall Yakupov. Look at Yakupov. First man pursuit, gets that puck first. He stripped Duncan Keith of a puck and got it to Roy for a goal in the first period the other night. And they nearly do a similar type thing with other support, but I think it had a lot to do with the first man pressure from Yakupov.
They talk about it on the Oiler bench. 8.8 on the clock. Off the draw. Kicks back. Clefbaum to the wall. Shot taken by Schultz is blocked. It'll carry him back out to center. Clefbaum taking it back, and that'll do it. Ryan Murphy will be Tripp's guest. We have the PNC Bank first intermission, and we'll also have an interview with a very special guest here on Military Appreciation Day. Edmonton 1, Carolina no score right here on Fox Sports Carolina.
Carolina Hurricanes hockey is brought to you by North Carolina Education Lottery. All or Nothing is the exciting new draw game from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Match all or match none, and win the top prize of $250,000. Either way wins. By Raleigh Orthopedic. Go where the pros go. Raleigh Orthopedic. And by Golden Corral. Enjoy Golden Corral Seafood Spectacular. It's unlimited seafood every night of the week for just $11.99.
Back inside PNC Arena, we get set for the second period. 1-0 Edmonton. Let's take a look at the first period numbers. Brought to you by Buffalo Brothers. Ah, man, now I want wings.
Well, Edmonton, I thought, was slightly more physical. The Hurricanes had a big edge in faceoffs, including 8 of 9 won by alternate captain Jordan Staal. And you look at Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, I mean, he was part of the penalty kill in that period on the power play, is assuming the responsibility of a low centerman quite nicely. He did have a tough face-off period. There's Jordan Eberle. And Jordan Eberle has been rumored with all of the young forwards that Edmonton has, maybe lacking some real hope on the blue line, needing a number one goaltender. All sorts of rumors. Would he stay in Edmonton? And I thought he was quite good with key neutral zone turnover leading to the Nugent-Hopkins goal in the opening 20.
Had a great season, leading Edmonton in terms of points. John Forsland, Tripp Tracy, Chantel McCabe at ice level, joined by our fine production team here at PNC Arena. Second game of a 5-game homestand. Elias Lindholm shot blocked by Martin Marincin. It drifts in on Richard Buckman, and the Oilers attempt to survive, and they will. Back out to center ice. Now Yakupov will lay it ahead, and it comes all the way back in the Carolina zone. Teddy Purcell with a steal. Yakupov in the slot denied. Purcell overskates, gets to it. His shot negated by Victor Rask along with Lindholm, and it pops back. Teddy Purcell. Martin Marincin off a body out in front. John Michael Lyles, and the Hurricanes get it out. Eric Staal on the gallop over the line. Lindholm in control. Swings it across for Lyles. It's blocked on the way through. Out of the corner, Rask, who had the shot. My apologies. Now for Ryan Murphy. Inside it goes. Eric Staal stood up by Mark Fane. Out of the pileup, Lindholm. It's a man off the bench. Back to the point, Rissanen. His shot easily detected by Richard Buckman.
Confidence is everything in this game, and the Hurricanes should have confidence that second periods have been good in this building. And part of it is because of the ability to make a good change and pin a team in their own end. I want you to watch the left side of your screen. Look at Riley Nash come on. Starts his shift on time, drops the puck, leads to a chance through traffic. And those good line changes with the long second period change can be really effective.
Bill Peters gets Jordan Stahl's line out now. A shot from the point, fended off, sent high by Jordan Stahl. After the stop was made by Richard Buckman. Schultz out of the corner. It's it by Jordan. Now Jordan Eberle for Edmonton attempts to get it out. Carolina keeps it deep in the person of Andre Nestrashil. Reversed by Bachman. Now Schultz out of the corner. On the wall, Eberle, and back out to Nugent-Hopkins. He'll play it to himself. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins goes to work. He'll circle in back of Cam Ward. Take it to the outside. Inside it goes. Matt Hendricks was held up by Justin Falk. Ron Hainsey eluding Nathan Gerby. It comes all the way back, and this is icing.
Jordan Staal playing on a line that it'll be interesting to see, if they stick together with Nestrashil and Gerby, and if they become a checking line. He played one shift with Eric in the first period, and I wondered if Bill Peters was juggling his lines again, but no, it was just putting them together at the end of a penalty kill because they both don't kill penalties. Jordan will kill penalties again at some point.
Jordan Stahl is opposed by Boyd Gordon on the faceoff, accepted here by Justin Falk. Right on the tape of Jordan Stahl. A lead pass, Gerby's in. Nathan Gerby walks in for a shot, denied, and Bachman holds on.
Jordan had everybody in the building, with the exception of Nathan Gerby, thinking he was going to dump this puck in. Had to stay on after icing. And I'm not sure exactly when he decided to saucer this to Nathan Gerby, and it led to a heck of a chance. Heck of a chance. Marincin certainly thought that was going to be a dump-in.
Now the puck comes back to Alexander Semin, broken up at the defense that time by Keith Hawley. Out of the corner, Semin attempts a pass. Skinner on Gordon, and now Andrew Ferentz. The former Boston Bruin back out. Intercepted by Carolina's Ryan Murphy. His first game back after missing 12 with injury. It comes all the way back.
That was actually Clefbaum that was fooled by Jordan Stahl, not Marincin. My apologies, and that's even more of a compliment for the good young defenseman to be exposed like that.
Rob Klinkhammer on the off wing. Ryan Murphy back for the Hurricanes. He'll circle. Angle it along the wall for Alexander Semin to get back, and out they come. Rissanen now to an open corner. Getting to it, it's slammed out by Keith Hawley. Back out to the center zone and played here by Mikhail Jordan. Just about 3 minutes gone in the second period. Canes will see the Columbus Blue Jackets here on Tuesday night as the homestand continues, with that being the third of 5. Matt Hendricks through center, bouncing one off the blocker of Cam Ward. Out of the corner, Matt Fraser gets after it for Edmonton. Broken up by Jordan. Loose and back out to neutral ice, and there's Justin Schultz. He'll feed it all the way back.
Boy, just a few years ago out of Wisconsin, he became a free agent. Weird sequence of events that everybody in the world wanted Justin Schultz's services.
All 30 were after him, no doubt. Now Fraser along the board, stood up. He was a waiver claim by Edmonton in late December. Now McClement along the boards for Patrick Dwyer. Cross-ice pass, racing up here is John Michael Lyles. He'll scale it in. Hard around it goes. Dwyer gives chase. Loose. Fraser knocks it down. He's peppered by Dwyer. It's loose. It kicks around. Fed across, but nobody home by Brad Malone. Picked off by Ryan Hamilton, and out they go.
I think Schultz is still very, very high risk. You know, he creates offensively, but really has to work on the defensive side of his game of when and when not to go.
Marincin paired on defense with Mark Fane. Marincin, a steal. Elias Lindholm for the Hurricanes goes to work out in front. Defended by Mark Fane. He'll move it. Eric Stahl gets to it, top of your screen. He'll send it deep along the dasher now. It's played here by Victor Rask. Elias Lindholm in control, holding onto it. Stahl had the stick cocked and ready. Back it goes. Rissanen with a shot. It goes wide. Loose along the boards. Getting to it, Elias Lindholm inside for Eric Stahl. Victor Rask out in front. Now Lindholm by him. Picked off by Teddy Purcell. And away go the Oilers. A lead pass for Derek Roy. Roy's in. Body down and covered up by Cam Ward. The Carolina Ale House is the spot for the next Cool Bar stop. That'll be in Concord on March the 31st. You can log on to CarolinaHurricanes.com for more details.
If there's ever a lesson not to give up on young players, watch 10 in white. I don't know if you ever would have thought last year or the year before that Niall Yakupov would come down off of his point man to maybe save a goal on Eric Stahl. And, you know, the rounded nature of his game showing more promise than ever.
Held in by Edmonton's Oscar Clefbaum. Getting to it is Cam Ward. Justin Falk in the corner for Carolina. Little pinch by Schultz. It comes all the way back. Clefbaum is on his horse. And he's hurried on the play that time, and going down was Jordan Stahl. Out of the corner, it's loose. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has it. Moving it by Gerby, and away they go. Clefbaum moving up, the young Swede. Through center, intended for Eberle, and it's tipped out of play.
He was the number 1 pick in the NHL entry draft out of Sarnia in the OHL in 2012. I mean, I watched him in the second period in Chicago the other night after setting up a goal to Derek Roy in the first period. First man pressure on the forecheck, physicality on the forecheck, getting to the front of the net on the forecheck, and then covering up as the F3 high forward safety valve for a pinching defenseman. I mean, he is really enjoying playing for Todd Nelson, and he is showing a lot of hope.
Alex Semin with a shot denied by Richard Bachman. It's loose to the corner. Jeff Skinner to the point. Mikhail Jordan walking the line. Out of the corner now. Klinkhammer goes hard at his man as he takes care of Riley Nash. Boyd Gordon for the Oilers attempting to get it out. Now it's moved out of the zone by Keith Hawley, and the Hurricanes will pounce on it.
The other thing that I think that young teams can go to school on is Yakupov spent all of July and August this past offseason in Edmonton and trained there in Edmonton. Teams that have young players, I still think that that is priceless.
Riley Nash, who scored Friday night against Minnesota. A cross for Alex Semin off a glass support, gathered in by Klinkhammer, not out. Gordon with a shot, canceled by Luke Gazdic. It's loose. Alex Simmons' pass detected by Luke Gazdic, and away they go. Nugent Hopkins barrels in again. Goes wide off the paddle of Ward and flung, but not out by Skinner. Second chance, knocked down out in front. And a penalty is called here as Ryan Nugent Hopkins went hard at Cam Ward.
Edmonton has had better sticks in the neutral zone in this game, whether it be turnovers or here a nice little pass. Good back check from Riley Nash. There's a penalty in the process, so Carolina's going to be shorthanded for the second time this afternoon. And actually, that during the delayed sequence, as you saw the Semin hook, that puck actually hit Semin's tape and I think redirected on Cam Ward for a bit of a tester.
Yeah, it was. So Semin gone here for hooking. Second power play this afternoon for Edmonton. 5:55 is the time of it. As you see, Edmonton had one shot with power play chance number one. Ron Hainsey wristing it out early. Jordan Eberle on 1 point. Justin Schultz on the other side for Todd Nelson. Teddy Purcell, Boyd Gordon, and Ryan Nugent Hopkins up front. Schultz will quarterback. He'll lift it ahead to the corner. Eberle is in first off a stick. This way, Justin Schultz, Teddy Purcell there too. It's loose. Justin Folk for the Hurricanes. Tries to move it off the stick of Dwyer, and away he goes. Short-handed. Patrick Dwyer walks in, denied by Richard Buckman.
Dwyer has had jump here this afternoon in both periods.
With a button hook, Eberle, Nugent Hopkins through the slot. Teddy Purcell to the outside for Schultz. Eberle, Schultz play catch. Around the clock it goes. In control, a tip out in front. Eberle scores! Jordan Eberle had an easy mark, and he makes it 2-0 Edmonton.
Big afternoon for Eberle. I think we have to go back and look at this penalty because I think it's a reputation call. I don't see anything there that really Semin deserved the hook. His work ethic and legs moving could have been more assertive, but net front presence, so important in this league, even strength or with the man advantage, and it's Matt Hendricks that creates it, which creates the rebound, which allows Eberle to finish on the back door. And Matt Hendricks, if you remember Military Appreciation Day here last season, had a big afternoon in Edmonton 1.
He did.
They're a key play for the former Washington Capital.
That was mid-March. March the 16th, a 2-1 win by Edmonton. Edmonton beating Carolina 6-3 in late October. That long road trip which started the season. Jordan Stahl flies Lindholm, tries to wrap it, but he's defended by Derek Roy. Lindholm to the outside of the point man Rissanen. This way it's Murphy. He'll delay, send it across, and Bachman was upset, knocked down on the play, and a penalty will follow. 12:52 left to go in the second period. Power play goal. Jordan Eberle, his 16th goal of the season. The Oilers by 2. Eric Stahl will sit. He's gone for goaltender interference.
Of course, you have the option of calling incidental contact with no penalty. The first thing is, this is on the boundary. Is this in the crease or outside the crease? I mean, it's literally right on the boundary. And if he's in the crease, Eric has to know where that paint is. If I had to make that call, I would have called incidental contact. They end up calling goaltender interference, so definitely an adverse afternoon for Eric Stahl and a big kill.
Third power play now. Edmonton 1 for 2 with a man advantage. Justin Schultz coming all the way back in his own zone. Carolina has the quartet of killers on the ice. Jay McClement, Patrick Dwyer, Justin Folk, along with Ron Hainsey. They pop in. Out in front, off the goalpost. Purcell off of Cam Ward as Eberle flashed for the first opportunity. Teddy Purcell back to the point. Fielded by Justin Schultz. He'll move it. Along the wall, dug out by Purcell. Gained here. And a lead pass out of the reach of Patrick Dwyer. Schultz plays the angle. He'll get the puck now and start a breakout.
Eberle another chance. Edmonton, aside from being up 2-0, has had, 2 or 3 posts? Eberle has had a heck of a day.
2 points already. Wrapped in now by Teddy Purcell. Top of your screen, Rasmus Rissanen. Jordan Eberle right out in front. They score! A doorstep bang in by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. His second goal this afternoon. 3-0 Edmonton.
Much too easy of a pass to the front of the net. Carolina, as they seem to do on all kills, forces the dump in, and Eberle does it again. Just swipes at this puck, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins beats 3 players at the front of the net. Rissanen, Lyles, Riley Nash, and then beats Cam Ward low on the blocker's side. I mean, as good as the penalty killing has been, and obviously you see Rissanen out there, you're trying some new things. Sekera gets traded, Gleason gets traded, so different players, doing things that were not part of the big penalty killing, but that was too easy.
When you take into account Friday night against Minnesota and now this is very surprising. The back of the goal now. Victor Rask on Martin Marincin out of the corner. 11:40 left in the second period. 3-0 Edmonton. Rissanen goes deep. Eric Stahl on and off his stick. Mark Fane out of the reach of Rissanen. Now a foot race. Nail Yakupov gets after it. He'll cruise in the zone. Cut out in front. Penny on it. Matt Fraser. Otherwise it could have been 4-0. Fraser in control, holding onto it. Trading places now. Yakupov with Keith Ollie. Inside it goes deep. Out of the corner. Good work by Keith Ollie covering up for him. Derek Roy off a stick. Knocked down by Rissanen. He's double teamed. In control, Rob Klinkhammer. A handoff. Keith Ollie. He'll circle the wrap. Chance denied by Ward. And no further play.
Boy, I am really impressed or disappointed, depending on how you want to put it, how easy Edmonton's getting in the front of the net. Winning battles like Yakupov just did. I mean, he wins the battle to begin with. The nice little stutter step move on Murphy. They may have played against each other in the OHL. Murphy and Kitchener. Yakupov with Galchenyuk, another good player that has ties to Russia, although an American citizen in Sarnia. But, boy, Edmonton finding a way to get to the paint much more noticeably than the Hurricanes.
Nugent-Hopkins, second goal today, 18th of the season from Jordan Eberle, has made it 3-0 at 7:59. They each have 3 points so far. Alex Semin with a shot swallowed by Richard Bachman.
I talked about it with you and Shane Willis in the pregame show. When you look at the scores, which are usually 1-goal games in this league, it's the best players that win or lose your hockey games. I mean, let's just look at Edmonton's best players. No Taylor Hall in the lineup. Nugent-Hopkins, big day. Jordan Eberle, big day. The 2 players we spoke about at the top of the show. And, John Tavares last night. Alex Ovechkin last night. I mentioned Sagan coming here next week. If your best players are your best players, that's what you need to be the difference in hockey games.
Off the draw, comes back. Semin with a shot looking for a tip. None available. The tip attempt that time by Riley Nash. Nash, Semin's in. He'll delay. Rolls in on Bachman. Semin taken down. They score on the follow-up. Good work by Alexander Semin. And the Hurricanes get a fortuitous bounce and get on the scoreboard.
Well, you hope this is a leadership moment for Semin. There he is, right side of your screen. Takes a penalty. Earlier in this period, leads to a power play goal. And then drives the front of the net. Riley Nash just got beat to the front of the net on the most recent Edmonton goal. Gets it to Semin, and then what a play with his stick on the delayed penalty sequence. That is a highlight reel goal. Semin never gave up on the play. Never gave up on the play. That's probably as good of an individual effort as he's had as a Hurricane. Maybe that'll be a moment for him.
He combed it in with John Michael Lyles coming in from the backside as Bachman will hang on to that shot taken by Ryan Murphy, but outstretched along the ice. Alexander Semin picks up his 4th.
Boy, I mean, you never know, because every day's a clean slate. Could this be the type of moment that is a galvanizing moment for Alex Semin? He had drawn the penalty off of the nice feed from Nash, and then, in earnest, a highlight reel goal.
10:23 left to go in the second period. Back out it comes. Riley Nash. Mikhail Jordan get the assist on that goal by Semin. He looked like he even surprised himself from his reaction on the bench. Along the boards now, Boyd Gordon gets to it. He'll move it back out. Ryan Hamilton for the Oilers, moving it by Rasmus Rissanen. Matt Fraser coming in. Ryan Murphy is on him. Halfway through the game, Hamilton back to the point. Jordan Osterley now goes inside for Hamilton. He's sealed off in back of the goal. As they battle in back of Cam Ward now, Hamilton to the outside. Rissanen guarding him. Matt Fraser winds up a cycle. Nugent Hopkins had his pocket picked by Jeff Skinner. Skinner working hard against Nugent Hopkins. They jam as we see in front of that Edmonton bench. Skinner hacking at one, back out to center with 9:33 left to go in period 2. Rissanen coming back for Carolina. Along the wall, Semin pressured by Oscar Klefbom. Everly, quick hitter, Hendricks denied, and Cam Ward will cover up. 9:21 left to go in the second period. Alex Semin with an undying will never gave up on this opportunity. He makes it 3-1. Edmonton. Here the family of Mike Roth, our director, enjoying the afternoon matchup here between the Oilers and the Hurricanes. You know, you can renew or purchase season tickets for next season right now. Win some great prizes. The Canes are giving away 30 prizes in 30 days now through April 4th. Prizes include a trip with the team, autographed jerseys and sticks, a trip to the 2015 NHL Draft, lunch with Ron Francis, and much more. So, the earlier you renew, the better. For prizes and for eligibility qualifications, visit CarolinaHurricanes.com/tickets for more info.
Did you know our season director, Mike Roth, this true story, went to Rome this past summer and actually, with his family, and wore a toga?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, in
you
2014 at the time. Well, that's why I call him toga, because he went there 2014 and decided that he was back with Russell Crowe in the Gladiator and wore a toga.
I'm glad you cleared that up. You call this guy toga all the time, and I'm scratching what hair is left as we get a stoppage of play here with 8:54 left in the second period. Carolina now getting some energy after the goal was scored by Alex Semin at 9:22.
Just a sensational individual effort from Semin. I mean, the flexibility on it. So what will that do for Semin's game? What will that do for the Hurricanes, who, you know, Bill Peters yesterday called the rest of this homestand the most important stretch of the season. Those are his words. That's how important this 5-game homestand is to him.
There have been very few where effort has been questioned in this long run, and the last two haven't quite been right for the coach. And this one so far, and there is time to dig out, hasn't been a masterpiece. Now Ron Hainsey back out to center ice. Carolina on the attack. It's Nestrashil for Jordan, just wide. Jordan Stahl right out in front. Now it's loose. They get to it. Yakupov looking for Teddy Purcell. Carolina's Jordan Stahl will trap the zone. He goes to work. Stahl out of the corner, holding onto it. Jordan Stahl out in front, turning. Nestrashil. It goes high over the top of Beckman. Played here by Derek Roy. Roy to the outside of Nathan Gerby. Out of that corner now. Derek Roy in control. He goes down. Teddy Purcell helps it out of the zone. Nail Yakupov will go to work on Rissanen. Moving in on the young Carolina defenseman. Yakupov holding onto it now to the outside of him. They'll lay it along in a cycle. A steal by Andre Nestrashil and back out.
Hurricanes have started to have their defense join the rush in the right way.
Here's Eric Stahl out in front. Victor Rask had an opportunity. He was defended, so it trickles in on Richard Buckman.
Of course, where the Oilers will be tomorrow night against the Detroit Red Wings. I mean, this is what Bill Peters wanted to bring from Detroit. Defensemen starting the rush and ideally joining it. And Jordan Stahl drives the front of the net. Hainsey helped to start the whole thing. We saw a nice middle lane drive earlier in the period from John Michael Lyles, and that's when the Canes are at their best.
Oilers off the draw, get possession. Luke Gazdic now in the center zone. Goes ahead for Klinkhammer. Ahead of Lyles. Klinkhammer out of the corner. Roth Klinkhammer holding on to it. His last stop, Pittsburgh. Inside it goes. Gazdic tries to get away from the D. He drops it off to Boyd Gordon on a cycle. Klinkhammer one more time, tied up by Lyles. They scrum along the boards. Gazdic attempting to dig it out for Edmonton. 7:22 left in the second period. He stood up by Mikhail Jordan. John Michael Lyles has a bit of time and space. Here's Victor Rask, and away they go. Through center ice, Jordan is in. He'll move it along in back of Buckman, now played here by Klefbom. Battle ensues in back of the Edmonton goal. Klefbom is held up. Eric Stahl on and off the stick. Moved along. Chipped in. Elias Lindholm out in front. And Carolina is within one.
Second period line change. Just watch this area right here. Talk about the defenseman being apart. Defenseman goes off. On comes Hainsey. Stahl actually right in the hash marks is going to be well defended, but here comes Ron Hainsey. We saw Nash do it earlier in the period. Starts his shift on time without that aggressive nature to Ron's game, and the good look, and Lindholm getting to the front of the net. Carolina doesn't score.
12th goal of the season for Elias Lindholm. Ron Hainsey and Eric Stahl should get the assist on the goal, which has brought the crowd to life and has the Canes within one.
Yeah, and Hainsey, I think he was trying to fire that on the net. I think he caught a bit of a good break, but after Edmonton, key component, getting to the front of the net in all three of their goals, Semin does so in individual fashion. Their Lindholm does, and Ron Hainsey has his second consecutive good shift.
Ryan Murphy now through center in the skates of Patrick Dwyer. A give back, Rissanen. He'll wrist it in as it goes all the way around. Along the boards now as Carolina floods that side. Murphy at the point, loads the gun, wide of Bachman. Played here by Ryan Hamilton, pressured by Rasmus Rissanen. Goes high in the air, it's loose and controlled by Matt Hendrickson back out. The veteran approaching McCall Jordan. Matt Hendricks to the outside. A little stutter step defended well by Jordan. Hendricks stays with it out of the corner. Tries to move it by Brad Malone. It pops out. Here's a chance. Right out in front. It was blocked by Ryan Murphy, and that gave Cam Ward a chance to cover up. And we get a break in play.
Murphy had to be very sharp because a 2-on-1 for Edmonton's first goal, they can happen in transition, but they can also happen on the goal line. And Murphy's going to be caught in this situation. His primary job is the pass. That's why his stick went to where it did. You know, he's going to give that shooter coming off the goal line to Cam Ward. If he can steal the shooter at the last minute, that's a bonus. And there Murphy plays it well.
Just about 14 minutes gone in the second period. Off the faceoff. Derek Roy turning, defended by Semin. It pops back. Riley Nash for Alex Semin. Little chip and chase. Semin gets free. A penalty upcoming against Edmonton. Justin Schultz is guilty. We'll tell you about it when we come back. 5:51 left to go in the second period. Lucky Lindy on the doorstep, and Carolina is within one. PNC Arena. Justin Schultz is in the box for Edmonton as he took down Alexander Semin.
Alexander Semin has changed the complexion of this game. After taking maybe an undeserved penalty that led to an Edmonton goal, an individual effort, scores a goal on a delayed penalty, and now Schultz has no stick, so reaches out with the free left arm. And the Hurricanes go to the power play with a chance to tie the hockey game once down 3-0 in this period.
Second manpower advantage of the afternoon for the Hurricanes. 5:51 left in the second period. Off the draw. John Michael Lyles at the point, holding onto it from the wall. It's Jeff Skinner. All the way across, a good stick by Martin Marincin. Getting to it is Lyles. He'll settle it down. Moved along here by Semin for Jordan Stahl. This way it's Skinner. Skinner out of the corner. Good pass from Murphy. Murphy holding onto it. Delaying. Top of the ring, Skinner. He'll set up shop. Jeff Skinner now retreats. Moving out, Jordan Stahl defended well out of the corner. Broken up. The Oilers attempt to get it out. They do now with help from Boyd Gordon.
Gordon, did you see the way that he got his stick on his less preferred face-off side all the way around the body of the linesman to try to create leverage? I have not seen a face-off man do it like that.
Alex Semin, who gave the Hurricanes life in this period. He'll dart, fancy move, right through everybody. Taken down, what a job by Alex Semin. Lyles' shot stopped by Bachman. Carolina will get a 5-on-3.
Semin's trying to lead the Hurricanes back. He's drawn 2 penalties, scored the goal that gave him life. Here is just a crafty move to the middle of the ice that draws the hook. It's personal. It's going to give Carolina a 5-on-3. Will they call their timeout here? We'll have to wait and see. Bill Peters handling the power play. Rod Brindamore not available. He will be back Tuesday. And they are going to call their timeout. They did not call their timeout with the 5-on-3 in Chicago Monday night. And they didn't score. I think this is a good move.
That was second period play 2. That was a turning point also. Todd Nelson, Keith Acton talk it over, and Bill Peters, as Tripp pointed out, will go over the strategy now. The Hurricanes have scored 1 5-on-3 goal this season. Edmonton has allowed 1, and our next telecast will be here Tuesday night. As the homestand continues, we will see the Columbus Blue Jackets, rivals from the Metropolitan Division, led by young Ryan Johansson.
One of my favorite young hockey players in the NHL, Ryan Johansson, the MVP of the All-Star game in Columbus. I love Columbus's team. I know they're in a tough stretch of hockey right now. They've had injuries and then injuries and then injuries this season. I believe still in where their team is going. But right now it's all about this 5-on-3. And it's going to start with the face-off. I think you have Lindholm take this as a right shot. Yep, he's the right guy. This is a big draw here for Elias Lindholm.
Faceoffs dominated today by Carolina. Lindholm, Skinner, Eric Stahl, Justin Falk, Victor Rask, group of 5 for the Hurricanes off the draw. Rask will locate the puck. Will stay patient. Now Falk. Rask will survey. Inside it goes Skinner. Rask again. Falk awaiting. Inside Lindholm between the wickets of Skinner now. Rask again. Justin Falk. Inside for Lindholm. He'll dart to the slot. Skinner scores! That's hockey, baby! You had to wait, and so did he. Skinner wresting the puck, getting it straight. Carolina will stay in the power play, and they've tied it.
This whole thing is about Elias Lindholm. He's going to try to find, after winning the faceoff with help from his wingers, tries to find Skinner first. Skinner just misses, and then goes to Eric Stahl. So you see, it's like a quarterback going to different receivers, so he's not predictable. Eric Stahl is well covered, and here Jeff Skinner has enough time and space to go backhand, forehand elevation to tie the game.
Carolina stays put for 90 more seconds on the conventional 5-on-4s. Jeff Skinner has tied the game. Out of the corner, it's loose. Getting to it now and in control, Justin Falk, and away with plenty of room is Elias Lindholm, and here he comes. The 20-year-old over the line gets after it. He goes deep, away from Mark Fane. Eric Stahl from the corner. Eric holding onto it this way again for Falk. He'll set it up and walk the line. Backhand dish finding Lindholm. Lindholm now in control, holding onto it now. From the half boards, Elias Lindholm double team. It's stolen by Matt Hendricks. He'll get it out.
Boy, the faith, Lindholm, right shot. He and Riley Nash are the only righties that can take that face off to go with him. And he's been good on the goal line today.
Eric Stahl in the zone, defended by Andrew Ferentz, who gets to it. He sets up Ryan Hamilton, who couldn't handle it. Second chance for the Oilers, wheeled out here by Nugent Hopkins.
It's one of the reasons I want to see Lindholm grow into being a centerman. If you can ever get him to be a confident man, wins over 50%, then you have some lefties that can win, and then you have a go-to righty.
He gets the secondary assist. Primary helper on the goal, Eric Stahl. Skinner is 17th. Power play marker, 15:23. 18 seconds left in the manpower advantage, and a final push for Carolina. They have rallied with 3 goals in succession. Alexander Semin, Elias Lindholm, and Jeff Skinner. Murphy, Semin, through the middle, Jordan Stahl at the flex wide. Loose in back of the goal. Getting to it, the Oilers' defense now dumped out by Oscar Klefbom all the way down to Cam Ward.
Simmons had his biggest leadership stretch as a Carolina Hurricane in this period today.
John Michael Lyles lays it along for Nathan Gerby just inside the line. Ryan Murphy is up. This way for Semin. He'll cut. Carolina is offside.
Semin takes a penalty that I thought it was a reputation penalty that leads to an Edmonton power play goal. 3-0, scores an absolute highlight reel goal. Not giving up on the play. Then draws not 1, but 2 penalties that lead to a 5-on-3 at 3-2. And you'd have to say that it was Alexander Semin, down 3-0, that didn't give up on this game, and the guys decided to follow him.
2:39 left in the second period. Off the draw, Osterley in control, out to center ice. Wheeled along by Nail Yakupov. Icing is called here. We'll take it back in Edmonton territory.
And just in terms of the facets of the game, Carolina was being beaten to the front of their net with regularity, and now all 3 goals, whether it be even strength or a delayed penalty or 5-on-3, they've been able to get to that boardwalk and convert.
And the big story of the period, Alexander Semin, who triggers all of this and continues to draw that penalty, which created the opportunity to tie the game. Shot taken, it goes high, a whistler from Brad Malone. Loose out in front, Teddy Purcell in control. 2:19 on the clock left in the second period. Edmonton back out to center. Ryan Murphy Pair down defense with Rasmus Rissanen. Rissanen angles a pass for McClement. Purcell coming all the way back. Teddy Purcell picked off by Ryan Murphy. He'll go wide. Murphy's in. Possible chance. Shut down by Bachman. Loose in front. It kicks around, and Jordan Osterley gets to it for Edmonton, and away they go. A lead pass for Derek Roy. Roy in the zone has room. It goes wide. It careens across to Victor Rask in combination with Brad Malone. Here they come. Malone goes wide, holding onto it. Osterley will steal the puck, get it from the official as the Oilers attempt to get it out.
Osterley will play against his college teammate tomorrow, Danny DeKaiser, both Western Michigan products. Good defenseman coming out of the Bronco program.
Lindholm out in front. Eric Stahl rejected by Bachman. They whack at it right out in front. It's still fought for. Kicks out to Elias Lindholm. He's pummeled by Derek Roy. Now Yakupov along the boards and back out. 1:15 left in the period. Ron Hainsey coming back for Carolina. Was by Eric Stahl, rejected by Keith Ollie. Ollie knocking it down from Stahl. Laid along the boards now in a steal. Victor Rask. Drop pass for Hainsey. His shot turned out by Richard Bachman. Loose to the back of the goal where Eric Stahl is positioned. Eric Stahl now in control. Hands it off to Victor Rask. Hainsey calls, shoots one. It's blocked. Hainsey got it back. Out of the corner, Keith Ollie, who had the block, attempts to get it out. Loose to the corner. Eric Stahl sets up Lindholm, who overskates. Keith Ollie tries to clear. He succeeds.
And Stahl takes a goalie interference call, but then sets up Jeff Skinner for the tying goal. So we talk about Semin taking a penalty and then his response. The captain did so too.
The Canes scored on the power play today, so you can stop by any participating Bojangles between 5:30 and 10 a.m. tomorrow morning and say, I'm a Caniac and it's bow time, to get your free Bojangles Bowberry Biscuit. Log on to CarolinaHurricanes.com/Bojangles for rules and participating locales. Off the draw. Worked along by Ryan Murphy, back for Jordan Stahl. Rissanen. Center zone intended for Nathan Gerby. Matt Fraser coming back. Here's Mark Fane. As the Oilers attempt to break out, and Carolina, as we see, takes over. Ryan Murphy, 15 seconds on the clock. Now Gerby's in the zone. Jordan Stahl thinks about it. Here's Murphy. He'll delay. Shot taken. Turned out by Bachman. The rebound is blocked. Jordan Stahl with an opportunity. 4 seconds left in the period. It goes to the corner as they scrum for it at the horn. That'll do it. It's a new story. As the game has leveled off, Carolina down by 3, comes storming back. Elias Lindholm, a big part of it. Be Tripp's guest for the PNC Bank second intermission. We also have NHL scores and highlights. So 2 in the books here on Military Appreciation Day, and the Hurricanes are in the trenches and working hard to complete. Edmonton 3, Carolina 3, right here on Fox Sports Carolina. Kieran Raleigh, a look at 2 former first overall picks in the NHL draft. We'll get to Coors Light cold hard facts. We'll take a look at it here. That was Nail Yakupov, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a deep draft this year led by Connor McDavid and Jack Eichel. You see the rest of the mix, the top 10 projected picks. And in terms of the standings right now, the Hurricanes checking in at number 27. That would be 4th overall, obviously. Edmonton at 29. But all of these teams, Tripp, will have the opportunity through the lottery to get number 1.
That's the one thing that I think people need to think about is that, you know, you really, if you finish last in the league, you're still, 24-25% chance of getting that first pick. So it's nowhere near a guarantee. And then it ranges all the way down to, just under 10%. So I think that diminishes the incentive to lose games, quite frankly.
John Forsland, Tripp Tracy, Chantel McCabe, along with our fine crew as the third period unfolds here in Raleigh. Final meeting between these 2 cross-conference rivals. Edmonton winning the first one in late October. The Hurricanes looking to snap a 2-game skid here this afternoon on Military Appreciation Day, and Nathan Gerby was taken down by Martin Marincin, and the Hurricanes will get their 4th power play.
And by the way, the team that finishes 30th in the league, their chances of winning the lottery are just 20%. So, what it does is I think it really, really promotes, winning hockey games. And the Hurricanes have been a different team since halfway through the second period. Gerby, work ethic play on Marincin. Marincin, actually, this is his second tough penalty, the Slovakian-born defenseman. Yeah. Took a tough one in Chicago Friday, too.
On the power play, here it comes. Falk out in front. And past that time sent out in front by Andre Nestrashil. Falk again. Eric Stahl in control. Holding onto it, back it goes for Falk. Falk now, his pass interrupted by Matt Hendricks as it skips out. Carolina recoiling on the way back. Martin Marincin 33 seconds in for holding. Wiped in the zone by Justin Falk, giving chase Eric Stahl. Taken down by Matt Hendricks, and that allows Mark Fane a chance to sail it out.
After coming back from 3-0 to 3-3, so many teams with their power plays, it's a chance, and not a good one, to take a breath, to hit the reset button. Not here. You need to take advantage of this on fresh ice.
Eric Stahl with a drop pass for Justin Falk. Around the horn it goes. They set it up. One-timer. Falk denied by Richard Bachman. Loose. Along the boards now and getting to it that time. Victor Rask out in front. Stahl's pass. Nestrashil off a stick wide off Teddy Purcell, who had the stick ripped out of his hands. It's loose along the boards. Nestrashil. Lindholm dancing. Nestrashil again. His shot. He scores! Andre Nestrashil. Another power play goal. Carolina has climbed the mountain.
Purcell had blocked a shot, and now he's going to lean on his stick and recognizes it's broken. And now he comes up here to go to the bench, and the Hurricanes knew it. And that helps to create this seam for Lindholm to find Nestrashil, and Nestrashil beats the goaltender through a screen to score to give Carolina their first lead of the afternoon. Looked like Klefbom had prohibited the goaltender from seeing that puck, the smaller Bachman.
Carolina 2 for 4 with a power play right now. Andre Nestrashil gets the goal right here, delaying to the absolute perfect time.
Yeah, if you're Devin Dubnyk, you can maybe Friday night here in Raleigh at 6-6, so you can see around Oscar Klefbom, but not Bachman. And the Hurricanes, that is a very, very important power play. They catch a break with the broken stick. But with fresh ice, you cannot just allow that 2-minute span to go by without really urgency.
Young Czech and two young Swedes combine on the power play goal. Elias Lindholm, Victor Rask, they get the assists on the goal by Nestrashil, his 5th goal of the season at 1:40. And the Hurricanes have the 4-3 lead.
That's the old Corey Stillman rule. Purcell, if you're not sure if a stick is broken, you're killing a penalty, do not lean on it. I'm not sure it would have not broken anyways, but you could still then use it to get in a passing lane. It's once it breaks, you'll take a penalty if you do.
Back it goes. Osterley from the point, blocked on the way through by Rissanen along with Jordan Eberle as it kicks out, and here come the Hurricanes out to center ice. Jeff Skinner, he'll fish it in on Richard Bachman, who leaves it there. Edmonton now attempting a breakout with just about 3 minutes gone in period 3. Ryan Hamilton in control. Knocked out of midair by John Michael Lyles. Edmonton would have been offside, and now Dwyer will feed it across. Mikhail Jordan. Back again for Lyles. A quick up in direct fashion. Was off the stick of McClement in on Bachman. The Oilers come back. It comes back out to center ice. Lyles is there. He'll slam it ahead. Look out! He almost caught Richard Bachman.
Hit a stick. Lyles meant to dump the puck. Caromed off of an Edmonton stick, and Bachman maybe makes his best save of the day.
This has been a strange game. Now Hamilton out in front. Hendricks is there. A good defensive stick by Patrick Dwyer. As it ricochets out to center ice, Hendricks wheels it across for Keith Hawley. He's negated by John Michael Lyles on the way through. Mikhail Jordan pressured on the forecheck, loose along the boards. Jordan Stahl will turn back and lay it across. Here's Lyles. Lyles moves it by Keith Hawley and all the way back in on Bachman. Jordan Eberle with 3 points today, holding onto it. Back out to center ice. Along the boards, Nugent Hopkins. It eludes Keith Hawley. Nathan Gerby gives chase for Carolina. Over skating, Jordan Stahl, but he got it back. Jordan Stahl a handoff, broken up by Andrew Ferentz and back out.
By the way, for the Oilers, this has been the exception to the rule. They just haven't been able to score. They've been playing better defense. This is a departure from their recent games this afternoon.
Inside again, Nugent Hopkins. Eberle turning from his own zone and back out. Back pressure, good job by Nathan Gerby on him. A penalty will follow. Carolina touches up. Edmonton goes a man up.
I thought there was a chance Eberle was going to get that penalty in the neutral zone, which would have definitely represented the type of afternoon he's had. So good at one point. I thought he was going to get a slash right there. Kirby didn't like it, but not a time to retaliate with all the momentum. Here's that crazy bounce off of Hamilton, the Edmonton forward stick, and what a save by Bachman. Okay, so they called the initial slash to Eberle. Or did they?
I think they did.
Yeah.
They've yet to put the penalties up on the scoreboard, but it looks like Eberle will get the penalty initially, then they each get 2 for roughing, and Carolina will get the power play.
Well, actually, Gerby's stick got up first. Eberle didn't like that. But then that's where Gerby draws the penalty on Marincin to start the period that leads to a go-ahead goal. That's where Gerby has to, as much of a fiery competitor as he is, he's got to skate away. Because he's just drawn another penalty. He's able to stand up for himself and still get the power play, but that's where you have to know the scoreboard. And the best thing you can do from a toughness standpoint is take that power play and go to work.
Officially, it's high sticking on Eberle. As you see Nathan Gerby in the box, a pair of 14s. Elias Lindholm and the Hurricanes red hot on the power play today. Get another chance. 50% so far. He a big part of it. Boyd Gordon will shorten up on the stick way down and attempt to power it back. Off the draw now, loose to the wall. Matt Hendricks will send it back. It skips around. Andre Nestrashil out of the corner. He's defended by Mark Fane. Just about 5 minutes gone in this third period. To the point it goes for Justin Falk. Here it comes, denied by Richard Bachman. It stays in play. Nestrashil had it, lost it, settled down by Falk. Now moving in, a chance for Rask, denied by Bachman. Captured by Matt Hendricks. They kill time.
Nestrashil has had his assist streak that was stopped against Minnesota Friday. Has a goal here in this period. There goes to the front of the net. Gets a piece of that shot with his net front.
Justin Falk will clear it in. Andrew Ferentz stood up by Victor Rask. Eric Stahl in support of him. Oscar Klefbom tries to negotiate out. Here's Elias Lindholm. Lindholm's pass comes all the way back. In the Carolina zone, they start again with 1 minute left in the power play.
Again, with the trade of Yuri Tolusti, that's where Nestrashil got the chance to be the net front guy in this power play unit. I think he's run with that chance.
Falk off the end wall. Getting to it for the Oilers now, and attempting to get it out as Andrew Ferentz knocked down by Jordan Stahl, brought out by Klefbom. All the way in on Cam Ward, who leads it there for Ryan Murphy. With that much time left in the power play. Young Murphy now out to center ice. He'll quarterback. Send it back to Jeff Skinner. Skinner at the line. A handoff doesn't click with Jordan Stahl. Skinner, though, follows it up. Taking a swat at it. Matt Hendricks. It goes deep. Martin Marincin hard around. Choked off by Semin. It's loose. Holding it in, Ryan Murphy. Murphy rights the ship again. A handoff to Skinner. Skinner from the wall. Edmonton peeling back. Skinner diagonally across. Skate the stick. Lyles. Murphy, a one-timer blocked by Gordon. Murphy gets it back. Skate the stick. Skinner is shot. He scores! Hey, what do you say? Jeff Skinner, 5-3, Carolina.
The net front presence of Nestrashil on one unit, Jordan Stahl on the other. Watch the left side of your screen. Jeff Skinner, and watch how his positioning is just on the inner portion of these dots. Creates a better shooting angle. So when you can throw Jordan to take away the goalie's eyes on one unit, Nestrashil on the other, you have the release of Jeff Skinner, you're in business. Our game key of Eberle and Skinner, who's going to penetrate more? Skinner did, or Eberle did in the first period and change. Skinner's been able to do so since in this comeback.
Jeff Skinner, his 17th goal this season, his third scored on the power play. Carolina now up by 2. They were down by 3. Bristonen with a shot swallowed by Richard Bachman will get a stoppage of play. 13:28 left to go in this third period. The Storm has hit Raleigh. Carolina 5, Edmonton 3. Well, it's obvious the Canes have scored more than 3 today. Go to papajohns.com tomorrow. Enter the promo code CANES3. Receive 50% off your menu-priced online order at participating restaurants. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Watch the screen here from Jordan Stahl. And 5'10", Richard Bachman never sees it. Nestrashil had done it on the previous unit. And John, when I take the emotion out of the fact that I played goal and I was small, that's why I like size. I prefer it in goal.
2 goals this afternoon for Jeff Skinner, both scored on the power play. Held in by Mikhail Jordan. Jordan a handoff. Rask goes inside to Eric Stahl. Stahl for Rask. Rask again, a power move, a chance. They score! Elias Lindholm! That's hockey, baby! Carolina up by 3.
What an afternoon for Elias Lindholm. There he is, far side, strong side, hash marks, gets out of the way now. Little looping pattern behind the net. And Victor Rask gets the puck to the front of the net. Yeah, he's trying to find Lindholm. Broken down coverage, that's the downside, I would say, of Schultz's game, the former Wisconsin Badger. Make him play in his own end. Those aren't the strong suits of who he is. And Lindholm now has 4 points on the day.
Wow. Amazing game. It really has been 2 different stories, and Carolina right now pouring it on. Down by 3, up by 3, as the Hurricanes now wheel it back out to neutral ice. A steal here by Edmonton's Teddy Purcell. He'll dump it in.
Boy, this for both Semin and Elias Lindholm. And we might look back at this day in this wild, wild affair with what both Lindholm and Semin have done. So important.
Elias Lindholm, 13th goal of the season. His 2nd goal today. Victor Rask and Eric Stahl help out at 6:49. Mark Fane back out to the center zone and all the way back. Mikhail Jordan paired on defense with John Michael Lyles. This homestand will continue. Tuesday night, Columbus is in town. Thursday night, it's the Dallas Stars. Now Matt Hendricks elevates the puck back out.
How about Bill Peters not shuffling his lines? You know, we know he does it quickly on most nights or days, and here he's stuck with them at 3-0, and it's paid off.
He's content right now. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, we've got all the news from the world of sports, including highlights of a full day in the NBA and NHL. Fox Sports Live is tonight on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
One more point. What if Bill Peters, when the team was lifeless, had burned his timeout, then wouldn't have had it available for that key timeout before the 5-on-3, which led to the tying goal?
Good point. Comes all the way back. Bill was not happy, to say the least, after the Minnesota game on Friday night. And he was wide open with his comments. The first time this season that's happened. And the Hurricanes took a while to get to their game here against the Edmonton club, who came in after a good effort in Chicago on Friday night. But still time left. 11:33 left in this 3rd period, as the Hurricanes are attempting to stop a 2-game skid this afternoon. Alex Semin, a big part of it. Skinner loads the gun to the open corner. Ryan Hamilton back on it. And away go the Oilers back out to center ice. It goes by Riley Nash all the way back in the Edmonton zone. Jordan Osterley lays it along the boards and back. Ryan Hamilton a handoff for Teddy Purcell, who knocked it out of midair. He's run into by Rissanen. Nugent Hopkins shot denied by Ryan Murphy. And it goes out of play. Renew or purchase your 2015-16 season tickets and choose from full season, 22-game plans, or 11-game plans. New this season, fans will get the opportunity to choose which games are included in the 22 and 11-game flex plans. Visit CarolinaHurricanes.com/tickets or call 866-NHL-CANES for details.
If people like stocks, they can go to the stock exchange. That's what I liked about Bill Peters and what he said after the game Friday. It wasn't stock. And to me, that sells the game. When you get that type of true honesty, I think it's terrific.
Out of the corner, Clefbaum on Nathan Gerby. Shots as you see. Carolina 35, Edmonton only 15 on Cam Ward. Nugent Hopkins along with Jordan Eberle, who has the puck, each have 3 points today as it rolls all the way in. Justin Falk, a reverse for Ron Hainsey. A fancy pass, look out. A goal. A bad turnover right onto the stick of Ryan Nugent Hopkins. Edmonton down by 2.
Well, watch Ron Hainsey, right side of your screen on the goal line. There are certain plays, where you go to the middle on a breakout, but you don't do it unless you're absolutely sure. And this is the second tough interchange going to the middle from Hainsey to Jordan Stahl in as many third periods. Remember, he tried to do it on Friday night, and Zach Parise scored a rebound goal. And it doesn't take much of a turnover for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to show on the same side he beat Cam Ward in the first period. What a sensational shot he has.
And his second career hat trick for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And now Edmonton back in the neighborhood, so to speak. 10:18 left to go in this third period. Nail Yakupov back out. They'll hand it off to Derek Roy. Roy off a body, blocked on the way through by Rissanen as it comes all the way back. Unassisted goal in the turnover by Ron Hainsey. Nugent-Hopkins, his third today, 19th of the season at 9:31.
We're not down at ice level, but on a play like that, communication between Ron and Jordan would be so important before you would consider making that play. Both players would have to know it's coming, and it looked like Jordan was surprised by it, quite frankly.
Rasmus Rissanen now out of the corner. 9:40 left in this third period. And the way this game has gone, who knows from this point on. Rissanen now in control. Out to center ice, moved along by Eric Stahl. Coming back on it here is Martin Marincin. A steal by Carolina's captain, Eric Stahl. Will try and punch it ahead, negated by Nugent-Hopkins. Loose along the boards again as they scrum. Knocked down here by Lyles. His shot goes astray. Looking for the tip was Elias Lindholm. As it kicks out here to Nugent-Hopkins, and away he goes. Broken up by Justin Falk, and right back in.
This game in some ways, slightly higher stakes back in June of 2006, but is similar to the game one, where Dwayne Rollison got hurt and Brindamore scored.
Yeah.
Ty Conklin, tough turnover. Edmonton had the game completely in control in the second period in game one in the finals, too.
That's right. Now Nash will swing it across. Falk again with his head up. Nash is off at his side. Skinner. Jeff Skinner delays. Looking for Nash. Broken up. Dumped out at the defense that time by Oscar Klefbom. Away go Edmonton. Rob Klinkhammer moves it in for the Oilers. Getting to it. Matt Hendricks. He's crunched by John Michael Lyles. Klinkhammer in back of the goal. He'll dangle off the paddle of Ward. Played here by Alex Semin. Semin back in his own zone, reverses. He's double teamed, and Klefbom is in control. Oscar Klefbom now off the boards, in on Ward, who leaves it for Lyles.
Lindholm, who has 4 points, was actually 2 years younger than Klefbom, but invited to the World Junior Training Camp. Klefbom made the team, was part of the all-tournament team. Mika Zibanejad scores in overtime, and the Swedes won the gold medal in Calgary.
Out of the corner. Jordan Stahl grinding for the Hurricanes. Nestrashil in support. Jordan out in front off a stick. Off Schultz, shut down by Bachman. A tough angle for Kirby. Along the boards now. Boyd Gordon moves it back. Ryan Hamilton had it, lost it. Carried out here by Jordan Eberle. Justin Schultz, a headman pass for Eberle at the line, defended by Rissanen. It comes all the way back in. Here's McCall Jordan. Along the boards, anticipating on a change. Andrew Ferentz, it's loose at the point. Osterley off a body, regained by Nestrashil, and back out. Camped out is Gerby. He'll button hook. Nathan Gerby, Carolina in the process of a change, so alertly it goes back.
Ferentz off the bench, the Edmonton captain, immediately pinches down offensively. The Hurricanes wingers are going to have to be ready for that.
Carolina touching up offside. 7:10 left to go in the third period. A great afternoon on Military Appreciation Day for Elias Lindholm. Carolina 6, Edmonton 4.
Back in the third, it's 6-4 Carolina. I'm with John Michael Lyles' brother, Lieutenant Joe Lyles. This is a special day, Military Appreciation Day, and you are a member of the Navy. It's your final game you're going to see your brother play before you get restationed to Hawaii. So just how special is this day, and what do you take away from an event like this?
You know, it just kind of worked out that that it happened to be Military Appreciation Day. One of the last times I'm able to get a chance to see him play, so kind of nice to be able to be here with all the members of the Armed Forces. So.
Your entire family couldn't have worked out more perfect. Your brother, you both are so accomplished, but your brother just played in his 700th NHL game. What do you think about when you hear that number?
It is truly impressive. I think if you ask anybody in NHL now, they would be happy to play 700 games. So he's truly accomplished a lot, and I'm definitely proud of him. I know we are in our family, and I think he's proud of what he's been able to accomplish. So.
Proud of him. We're so proud of you. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you very much.
Guys, back to you.
Well said, Chantel, no doubt about it. And many would be proud to play just one game in the National Hockey League. Cam Ward out to play it. To the corner it goes, and very proud, as you said, of his service and his dedication to this great country. On a wonderful day here in Raleigh, Mark Fain looking for a tip. It sails wide. 6:22 left in this third period. The Hurricanes with a 2-goal lead, and a wild one. Out of the corner, Jordan Eberle to the point. Matt Fraser now, shot taken by Derek Roy, goes wide, broken up by Justin Falk, and back out.
The Oilers are definitely pushing. They got something from that third Nugent-Hopkins goal.
Jay McClement coming back. Ron Hainsey now in the skates of Pat Dwyer. Carolina will survive that. Nathan Gerby now along the boards. Outside the line, Pat Dwyer, cross corner, and the Hurricanes get a change.
Tells you about the depth of Hainsey's confidence. He goes right back to the middle of the ice.
To the corner now. Dwyer lays it inside. Derek Roy deep in his own zone along the glass and back out. 5:35 left in this third period. Ryan Murphy paired on defense with Rasmus Rissanen back out to center ice. Negated by the Oilers, they steer it right back in.
I would consider Ron Hainsey one of the more confident people that I've ever met.
Oh, yes.
Which is very, very important in a sport where it can be humbling at times to have that inner self-belief.
Jordan Osterley coming back in the zone. Right on the tape and out. In control, moved along by Hendricks. Moving in here, Ryan Hamilton, defended by McCall Jordan from the corner. Hendricks for Edmonton in support. Boyd Gordon. They battle in the corner. Lyles there for the Hurricanes. Under 5 minutes left in this third period. Out of that pile up. Back it goes to the point. Clefbaum this way. Justin Schultz, his shot sails high, and it goes out of play. 4:48 left to go in this third period. A special day for the Lyles family as we go down the stretch. Here in the capital city, it has been a tremendous day for Elias Lindholm.
First 4-point game, and you know the vast majority has come with his creativity and his composure on the power play. And John, before game one, remember I drove ex-Hurricane Doug Wade back to the Islanders hotel. Doug, part of the coaching staff with Jack Capuano, and he had done some pre-scout work on the Canes power play, and he said, no doubt about it, the most dangerous guy on that power play is Elias Lindholm, because he can react to any situation and make the right play.
Jordan Stahl moves in. Hurricanes have dropped consecutive games against Chicago and Minnesota, looking to reverse that here today in their final meeting with the Edmonton Oilers, who have played well against Carolina over the years, especially here. Coming back now, Matt Fraser in control. 4:23 on the clock. Out of the reach of Jordan Eberle, fielded by Carolina's Ron Hainsey. Nathan Gerby in front of that penalty box now as they scrum. Hendricks, he dug it out, and coming back here is Justin Falk.
They've got to get a goaltender, but I do think you look at Clefbaum, you look at Darnell Nurse down the road, that the Oilers do have some hope on their blue line. I think it's going to be important that they use the American Hockey League that has been in Oklahoma City, that will be in Bakersfield, California next year. How about the growth of that fine league in California? The California teams have got to be just delighted with that.
Makes a lot of sense. Now Ryan Murphy coming all the way back. Rissanen turns it over. Controlled here by Teddy Purcell all the way across. Tough one to handle for Martin Marincin, but he gets it inside. Now Yakupov, Teddy Purcell. He'll come calling out Cam Ward, who denies. Centered off a body off Derek Roy. Roy to the outside. Ryan Murphy is on him. To the point. Martin Marincin looking for a tip, none available. Along the boards and back out. In control. Moved along by Rasmus Rissanen, back out to center ice. Teddy Purcell for the Oilers now gets a pass from Derek Roy. Purcell hits a seam. Good back check by Riley Nash. Jordan Osterley got to it. Yakupov off the pad of Cam Ward. Carolina will survive. Jeff Skinner wheels it back. Skinner with 2 goals today.
And when you look at our game key, which was who has more penetration, this guy Eberle or Skinner, it's been a tale of 2 different games. It was Jordan Eberle in the first half, and it's been Skinner getting to the front of the net in this comeback.
Back of the goal that kicks out Eberle for Edmonton. The goal has been vacated by Richard Bachman. 6 skaters out, 2:40 on the clock. Out to center ice. They move all the way back. Ferentz, pressure, but good look. Patrick Dwyer is all over him. Jay McClement moves it aggressively loose. Dwyer getting a stick to it was Nugent-Hopkins. Otherwise, Carolina seals it. Now McClement in control, drops it off, intended for Brad Malone. From the corner, moving out Eberle. Jordan Eberle, shielded by Dwyer. the center zone. Nugent Hopkins gave it away. Flung out here by McCall Jordan. Picked off by Teddy Purcell. Purcell at the line. Edmonton's onside. Carolina restarts. 2:03 left.
Unselfish play by Brad Malone there. Didn't want to ice the puck and be selfish, go for the empty netter. And we mentioned the Hurricanes can go 15-5 with him in the lineup, 0-4 with him out of the lineup since January 2nd. Alex Semin. This, I would say, what does he do with it? We'll wait and see, but this has been his signature game as a Carolina Hurricane. Took a penalty in the second period, probably one he didn't deserve. Scores an absolute highlight reel goal to give the team life, down 3-0. Draws 2 penalties that lead to a 5-on-3 goal to tie the game. So what does he do with what he has done today?
Bachman is back in. What does he do? He goes to the bench. With just under 2 minutes left in this third period. Clefbaum, Justin Schultz. Edmonton in a back-to-back situation. They are at Detroit tomorrow night. Then they go to Pittsburgh. Now getting to it is Justin Falk. Back out. Lindholm is camped out looking for maybe a 5-point day. Over the line now. Yakupov defended. Broken up by Hainsey. Held in by Schultz. 90 seconds left. It pinballs into Teddy Purcell. Purcell in control. Side of the goal, Hendricks. Derek Roy had it, lost it. Broken up by Eric Stahl. He sets up Lindholm. Bullseye! Hat trick. 5 points. Elias Lindholm. Carolina in control.
How this play started completely shows how this game turned. Carolina, you could drive a semi through the front of the net in the first half. You see all the numbers, including Justin Falk here. So much better in that dimension than Eric Stahl, who had a tough penalty that led to the 3-0 goal in the second period, gets his 3rd assist, and Elias Lindholm, his 5th point here today. His most productive game of his young NHL career.
It's very hard to keep count. Eric Stahl has 4 assists today.
Oh, he's got 4.
Yeah, it just keeps going and going. The calculators are out here on press row. 5 points for that guy, 4 points for the captain, and the list goes on as the Hurricanes have come all the way back in this one. It's been wild.
And you look at it, we said when Edmonton was up 3-0, you can't win in this league without your best players. Well, Semin has to be one of your best players. We've talked about what he's done. Lindholm has to follow the lead of veteran guys. Eric with his 4 assists after he takes that goaltender interference penalty, which leads to an Edmonton power play goal, which leads to Edmonton being up 3-0, coming off of a stretch of tough games for the captain. So things have really turned, John, here in the second half of the game, individually and collectively.
Canes will win their 25th game of the season, their 15th on home ice. This homestand will continue on Tuesday night. The Columbus Blue Jackets are here. It starts here with Hurricanes live at 6:30. 40 seconds left in this third period. Down 3-0. Carolina on top now 7-4. Through center ice. Jay McClement, peppered by Rob Klinkhammer. Now Martin Marincin will circle away. Carolina with 35 shots on Richard Bachman. In control now, Ryan Hamilton. He'll lay it along. McCall Jordan coming back. It took a while to get to the response after 2 lackluster games against Chicago and Minnesota, but they did climb all the way back here today on a day in which we appreciated the military and all they do for us. The Carolina Hurricanes reward them and the rest of the Caniac Nation with a 7-4 victory over the Edmonton Oilers.
Elias Lindholm, part of the biggest offensive explosion this year. I think he showed in a nutshell just what a good power play player he's going to be for many, many years. And Alexander Semin, for me, even with Lindholm's 5 points, I'm sure in-house, we don't choose it, Lindholm's going to be the #1 star, and I can't argue it. But if I were picking, I would say Semin, based on what he did in that second period. And you know, the 2 veteran guys who had tough first halves of the game, Semin and Eric Stahl, were a big part of the comeback. And the younger guys, primarily Lindholm, Skinner did a nice job too, were able to catch fire and put together just a sensational second half of the game on Military Appreciation Day.
2 points in the standings, and we appreciate the Carolina Ale House for their donation once again, $200 to the Kids and Community Foundation for the win here today. I'm in total agreement with you. Alex Semin was the burst of energy the Hurricanes needed here this afternoon. There's no question that Lindholm, with 5 points and a career game at his age at 20, will likely be the first star, and should be, as we await that here. And we see a member of the Alexander Semin faithful in attendance here today, as he was outstanding in the second period when the Hurricanes needed a turning point. He was able to accomplish that. 4 points and leadership from the captain here this afternoon. Again, like the team, a tough start, but he responded, and he is the third star. Jeff Skinner is the second star with 2 goals, both scored on the power play this afternoon. And the first star with 5 points. And the hat trick, 20-year-old Elias Lindholm, the number 1 star, in a 7-4 victory. And for that, he'll sit down with our very own Chantel McCabe.
All right, Elias, 5 points today, your first career hat trick. Just tell me, how you feeling right now?
It's a pretty good feeling.
That's all?
Yeah. After that hat trick in the preseason, I didn't think I would get another chance to get the hat trick, so it was nice.
Your team was down by 3, dug deep. How did the team pull off this comeback and score 7 goals today?
Sama's goal there was huge for us, so I think that was when the game turned over a little bit.
Alex Semin with an incredible effort in that second period. What did he bring to this game today?
I thought he was playing really well. He bring 3 penalties there and had a lot of shots, so it's good to see him there.
Power play came up big at just the right times today. You looked pretty comfortable out there. How comfortable are you feeling?
Guys made it pretty easy for me today, so it was a lucky day.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
John, back to you.
Thank you, Chantel. Congratulations to Elias Lindholm for a career day, on a day where we appreciate the military for all they do for this wonderful nation. It was a great day, and the Hurricanes responded in a big way in the second half. Down 3-0. They climb the mountain. They come all the way back. They defeat the Edmonton Oilers 7-4. Stay with us. Hurricanes Live, the postgame edition, comes your way next. Total postgame coverage from Raleigh. Final count 7-4 Carolina. Stick around.